Perfect. Okay, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Network Breakfast. And once again, I'm going to introduce our participants, our members of the Network Breakfast. And then we're going to pick up our revisited Cut the Cord 101. And it should enlighten you on some of the things you'd like to know about how to save money and still get the channels you pretty much want. Okay? All right. But for right now, we're going to hear from each of our members, and we're going to start with Mike Bentley. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning to all of you. I'm Mike Bentley from the Brooks and Stafford Company, wanting to remind you that open enrollment for those who have graduated to Medicare begins on October 15th and continues through December 7th. Should you have questions about your Medicare coverage or Medicare plan, please let me know. I'll be happy to guide you through the process. Also, open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act begins on November 1st and continues midway through the month of December. Once again, I can be your resource to assist you with your healthcare choices. Mike Bentley from the Brooks and Stafford Company. Take it away, Tom.
Thanks so much, Mike. A lot of us look forward to hearing from you and getting your expertise on all of this, and guiding us through this harrowing Medicare, Medicaid, and all the things that we have to deal with as we get older. Okay, let's move on. Let's say good morning to Lee Jackson. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, everybody. Lee Jackson with Right at Home. We are a non-medical home care company, making sure we try to keep your loved ones safe, happy, healthy in the home, wherever their home might be, whether that be their house, their apartment, a condominium, whether they've even moved into an assisted living facility. We can assist in those capacities to make sure that their life and quality of life is at the highest possible level. So good news, bad news. Good news is we continue to be able to get many clients. We are really still growing. Clients are coming in. Marketing's doing really well as far as getting clients in. The challenge is, as is with everybody else in the marketplace, we're having an ongoing search for caregivers. So we're actually having to turn down a few of our clients. And for the first time, we actually have a waiting list. We will take any ideas of people. We're looking for people with heart. Anybody knows people that have compassion and heart, willing to give of themselves to be able to help other people out. It's a great opportunity to get involved with this industry and get involved with Right at Home. So we're constantly looking for new caregivers to help out taking care of your loved ones. So that would be the way to do it. And again, Lee Jackson, Right at Home, the right services, the right place at the right time.
Excellent. Thank you, Lee, and thank you for your service. We'd also like to say good morning to Jeff Hexter. Good morning, Jeff.
Thank you, Tom. I'm Jeff Hexter with Always Keep Computing. I work with frustrated computer users working from their homes. I'm the person they call when their files go missing, their printers won't print, and their Wi-Fi is whiffy. Recently, I was asked to help a client with a slow Wi-Fi connection, even when their laptop was only 6 feet from the router. I was quickly able to determine that the problem was with the old failing router, so we replaced the router. We also added an inexpensive Wi-Fi dongle to the laptop, and now his cable internet connection is the slowest point in his network, and it all just works. I would like to work with families who want a solution for monitoring and restricting what their kids are doing and seeing now online. I have a new solution that I can offer them. Jeff Hexter, Always Keep Computing.
Very good. Thank you, Jeff, and thanks for helping everybody out. And now we'd like to say good morning to Chris Walters. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, Tom. Chris Walters with See-Through Windows. I provide vinyl replacement windows and glass block. We're now in a situation, COVID-19 has gotten to the manufacturers, and they usually we were getting a 1 or 2 week delivery time. We're now at 5 weeks, and it's thrown everything into a tizzy, but we're working with it. Right now, if anybody's looking for windows, they're probably not going to get them installed until late November, early December. I go out and take a look at everybody's windows, then quote them, and right on the bottom, I put late November, early December. So that's what's going on with the industry right now.
Wow. Okay, Chris, thanks. And now, let's see. Good morning, Harry Bernstein. Good morning, Harry.
Good morning, everyone. Long time no see, and thanks for keeping me in the loop. I'm an attorney. I primarily work with families with kids and young adults and anybody with special needs and disabilities to help them develop a long-term plan for success. There's a lot of issues involved, including medical, potential government benefits, educational issues, training, job opportunities, and again, developing a long-term plan for ongoing success in life in general. Each person has different needs. What we sit down is look at what your goals are. I will work with your professionals or put you in touch with a group of professionals, such as in our group here today, to develop a plan to achieve those goals. I also do some consulting for the cannabis industry, which is becoming it's coming to the forefront. It was even a piece of the vice presidential debate this last week or so. So there's a lot going on there. I work with businesses who are in the industry and businesses who aren't on how to prepare for the oncoming potential federal legalization, which is looking more and more like it's going to happen based on the election forecasts. So thank you for your time, and please feel free to contact me for any of those matters.
Excellent. Thank you, Harry, and thanks for being here. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you again. I have, in the past year or so, transitioned into working almost exclusively with seniors on a reverse mortgage. I've been originating reverse mortgages since 2005, and I teach classes on reverse mortgages as well. So many of the referrals I get are from the children of seniors wanting to make sure that their parents are taken care of in their old age. So if any of you have parents that have a need, you know how to get in touch with me. And on the current subject at hand, I've emailed the same article that I sent to Tom with respect to Cut the Cord 101, which we're talking about today. So you should check your email, and you might want to be able to follow along if he references that during the presentation. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Ray. And thanks for sharing that presentation of your own. And it's timely in that that's what we're talking about today. Okay, we're going to say good morning to Rob Lord. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, everyone. Rob Lord here. I am a financial advisor with Thrivent Financial, and we see money as a tool and not a goal. So we try to get you to retirement comfortably and on all phases of your financial life. Give me a call.
Very good. We miss you being out in the Lanai because we know that that means the weather's changing.
Yes.
It's so great seeing you outside in your palatial estate that, well, it's fall, and we like that too. It's still there, but without you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for being here, Rob. And now we'd like to say good morning to lovely and talented Trina Gigax. Good morning, Trina.
Morning, gentlemen. Good to see you again. My name is Trina Gigax. My company is Fresh Eyes Reading. I'm a copy editor, which means if you do your own writing for anything, PowerPoint presentations, newsletters, emails, web content, if you do your writing, or if you're using a marketing person or a writer, everybody needs to have someone else go over it with fresh eyes for copy editing and for proofreading at the very, very least, because it's really difficult for you to see what makes it good for a reader because you're too involved with it. So that's what I do. I put fresh eyes and I polish and refine your writing. My name is Trina, Fresh Eyes Reading.
Excellent. Thank you, Trina, and thanks for being here. And best of luck to Bruce getting your antenna hooked up without a ladder. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go and we're going to look at some solutions into cutting the cord. And I'm going to pick this one. Sometimes this goes smoothly and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to pick, we'll do that. And you folks will tell me whether, do we see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Cut the Cord 101 Revisited. As I mentioned earlier, I started talking about this in 2017 because my cable bill and the internet bill was getting close to $200 a month. And I thought, I'm going to look into saving money. So I started investigating what it would take. And I think the first thing I bought was an Apple TV. And I learned how to use that and some of the apps that were on it, but it was limited back then. It's not like it is now. And this is a October 2020 version of this. Okay, best TV streaming service for cord cutters. And in this particular presentation, it's Hulu, YouTube TV, Sling TV are the top three, and there's a couple of more that we'll compare. If you're looking to save money on your cable bill but want to keep live news, sports, and other channels, these are the best live TV streaming alternatives, and I'll list them here. You can tell who put this together. I left their names, and this was done October 11th, so it's only a couple of days ago. And the best overall device and service is Hulu Plus Live TV. It's $55 a month. So these amounts do not include internet. You need to buy your internet from wherever you get it. Could be cable. It could be DSL or AT&T. It could be fiber optic. But you need your internet, and then you add these to it. The best overall is Hulu Plus Live TV. The best budget service is Sling TV Blue. You can see that's $30. You'll add that to your internet cost. The best DVR and channel lineup is YouTube TV. It's a pay service. It's not the free YouTube. There's plenty of channels on YouTube that are free, but this is the paid. And you can see that it's $65 a month. And best for sports is Fubo. And the best channel for flippers. Oh, wait a minute. This is all right. It's popping all over the place. Okay, let's move on. Best overall is Hulu Plus Live TV. And you'll see a sample of it here on the right. When YouTube TV bumped its price by $15, Hulu Plus Live became overall favorite. Its channel selection is robust for the price, and Hulu's integration of live TV with a significant catalog of on-demand content, including exclusive titles like The Handmaid's Tale, give it a content advantage no other service can match. Fact is, I know at least 4 families that have Hulu Plus Live TV, and it just works for them. And it's $55, and it gives you a lot of choices. We'll move on to the next one. Best budget service is Sling TV Blue. They have another color that is more expensive, but this is for the best budget service, Sling TV. It says Sling TV costs more than Philo, $20, but has better channels, more options, and comparatively better interface. So it's worth the extra money in our opinion, and it's still dirt cheap compared to the other streaming services. So if you have your internet, like I pay $69 for 100 megabits, then you would add the cost of this. Okay. Next. We're going to best DVR and channel lineup. If you're those that like from your cable days, you can DVR anything that's on, and you have a way of storing. Well, YouTube TV is the best one for that sort of viewing. Best DVR and channel lineup is YouTube TV. They've just put this month, they put 8 new channels in the addition of NFL Network, an optional red zone in time for the 2020 football season. YouTube TV has more top channels than any competitor, and it's still the only one with local PBS stations. And you'll see that it's $65. Unlike Sling and others, it's dead simple, one package, one price, done. Despite its best-in-class channel selection and Cloud DVR with its recent price increase, it's now the most expensive line live TV streaming service. And if you want to save money over a traditional cable subscription, Hulu and Sling TV are superior bargains. Although you'll see there the top channels that are not available: A&E, History Channel, Lifetime, and for me that would be a deal breaker because I love A&E and especially History Channel. That's where American Pickers and all of that, and Ancient Aliens, and those are the things that I watch. All right, let's move to the next one. We're burning right through this. All right, best for sports fans. Fubo TV. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. There's a lot to like about Fubo TV. It offers a wide selection of channels, second only to YouTube TV, and its sports focus makes it especially attractive to soccer fans in particular. It's also a great choice for NFL fans since it's the only service aside from YouTube TV with NFL Network and optional Red Zone. In August of 2020, Fubo TV added a bunch of channels, including ESPN and Disney channels, but then it dropped Turner networks, including CNN, TNT, and TBS. The latter two also carry a lot of sports content, in particular NBA and MLB. These programming holes and the $60 price tag make it attractive than the other ones. Speaking of the NBA and our close association with LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, he's got another ring, and apparently the Los Angeles Lakers now have 17 championships, which matches them with the Boston Celtics, and due in no small measure to LeBron James, if you follow LeBron's career. Okay, move to the next one here. This should be, all right. Best channel for channel flippers. You're going up and down, and until recently, AT&T TV now bundled HBO into its base package, but they dropped that and made it $10 extra at this point. With or without it, the service is still missing more top channels than any premium, and you'll still see that it's $55. So it's not one of the cheaper ones. So you have to really consider if this is the way you want to go. But it does allow you to channel chase just by flipping left and right, up and down to move through the channels, which some of the other ones don't do. It's more like a cable interface. And you'll see there the top channels that are not available in base packaging are A&E, AMC, Animal Planet, Discovery Channel. That's another one that I watch. HGTV, History Channel, Lifetime, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's $55, so you got to consider that. But the best overall is that Hulu Live that we saw first, Hulu Live TV. And now, my method is using a Roku device, and these are the free channels or free apps that run on Roku. They're free, and they each have, I want to say hundreds, but let's say 40 or 50 channels on each one of these 10. Now, naturally, there's going to be some duplicates, but these channels are free, and you can watch the content with a Roku unit, and you get these apps: Pluto TV, Roku Channel, Stir, Tubi, Zumo, Crackle, which is owned by Sony. It may become a pay someday, but they're still building it. Crackle is a pretty nice one. Hoopla, YouTube, all the free content. Fawsome TV, a lot of movies, and then NewsOn. NewsOn, it gives you a bunch of ways of watching local news. And it does it like a demo. As you're seeing, it'll show you the weather on one side, and it'll have a news person or a weather person delivering a a rain forecast and a radar and all of that. It's pretty cool. Anyway, NewsOn is a cool channel. If you have a Roku, try a NewsOn. It's pretty cool. Plus, I have a basic Hulu account, which I think is still $6 or something like that, for channels that are not on free streaming services and not on my main TV viewing source, which brings us to this panel here. This is my antenna. This is what I put up. Now, it's an outdoor antenna, but I have it installed in the upper area of my garage. So it's not really outside. And I have it pointed. You'll see down at the bottom of the list there, it says 44 channels pointed to the southwest, which we've all known from when we were kids. That's where you point all your, you put your antenna. And I'm sure Bruce, as he's up there trying to move it, it's probably pointing to the southwest to get most channels. But this particular antenna, you'll see the name, Channel Master Extreme 10, a long-range multi-directional outdoor TV antenna for an 80-mile range. Well, when I was reading about cord cutting, it suggested that I buy 2 of these because it is directional. And the way you point it, the picture shows which way goes to the southwest. Well, if you buy another one and you put it right opposite it and point it the other way, you'll get all the channels in the other direction. So I could possibly get 100 channels with 2 of these, but I figured 44 is enough. And like Jeff mentioned earlier, I skip right on through them. But it is cool having an antenna that does that much work. And I give you the model down there too. And I forgot how much I paid. I bought it probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I paid probably a little less than $200. Now I see that they have them refurbished for like $100 or $99, maybe plus shipping. And it ships in a box. You'll see the dimensions. It's 41, it's 5.5 inches deep and 33 inches wide. So it's not too bad. It arrived in a cardboard box, and I pulled it out, screwed it together. The little stanchions that hook onto a tube or something, I installed a tube up there and then hooked this to it, and then ran the coax. It has a coax connector. That little gold area down there moves up to, in the center, you'll see a little threaded area there, and that's where your coax cable threads into, your F connector. So this is what I use, and I get 44 channels. Plus, I add my Roku and all those, and my Hulu, and that's how I do cord cutting. And since I've done this in 2017, I think I'm saving maybe $30, $35 a month. If the costs have gone up since then, they probably have. I'm probably saving that much more. So that's what I'm doing to save money. And if you think, if I've done this since 2017, I'm saving, even if it's only $30 a month, that's how much is that a year? Mathematicians, anybody? Okay. Anyway, you'll see times 3, and that's quite a bit of money. So, and it'll continue because this satisfies what I need. At certain times of the day, I know what unit or what device I'm going to use. And now let's go over what Ray has sent us, and how to save money on streaming video services. And they list on this story from Ray, which you all have received, many of the names that I mentioned so far. They go into the idea that how much it costs to go out and see movies and shows. They mention Hamilton. Tickets to see Hamilton are hundreds of dollars. Now there's going to be a movie of it, and you'll be able to see it on a streaming device. They go into way more detail than I did today. I just wanted to skim the top five devices plus my antenna. And they name so many of these that I think it's a good idea to go through his email and see, because I'm not I don't follow things like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But if you do, you can find who has that. And you'll want to partake in the channel, or actually in this case, it's Amazon Prime, which I have, but I have Amazon Prime because of the, I save a lot on delivery, and I order quite a bit of items for the office on Amazon, and yet I get Amazon Prime with it. Saves a lot of money that way. And apparently, what I just mentioned, Amazon Prime is $119 annually, and Amazon Studio Original is The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And I've heard cousins of mine mention that they're locked into it. Like years ago, it was Downton Abbey and those kinds of things. And if that's what you're interested in, then you should really peruse this email and find what you like. And there's a way to get it. And it lists all sorts of things. There's Netflix, the Hulu, Hulu, the standard Hulu is $6. So I'm paying $6 a month for my Hulu account. And it has quite a few things on it, just with the basic. But I do know, and I have set up the Hulu Live TV, and it's a lot like cable. It gives you a lot of service. So I think we'll move on from there, and we'll get what you guys think. So thank you. We'll bang out this, and we'll come back. And here I am.
If I may add a comment or two.
Please.
The list that I sent also includes Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus, I believe, which were not on the original list because they didn't exist at the time. And it also includes the Peacock Network by NBC. Again, brand new service that was not on the original list. And all of those options, I believe, are either free or less than $10 a month. And you get some pretty good shows on Disney and on Apple TV as well.
You know, Ray, when we were meeting in person, you had a service that you were partaking of. Is that still something that you do?
It actually is. It's called NVTV. You get about 1,000 channels, and it's still $59.97 per month. It still works. A little bit glitchy now and then, but it recovers. And the primary reason why I'm still on that service, why I haven't switched to anything else, is because I'm having a real tough time finding the Hallmark channels. And my wife has locked into Hallmark and watches those more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I can't find them on most of the other services.
Yeah, I've heard that complaint too from when I'm setting somebody up. All they want to know is where Hallmark is, and none of the things that I have that have access to have Hallmark on.
He has Hallmark.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that's one of your criteria, you're going to be looking for a long time trying to find where Hallmark is. The other channel that Hallmark people like is the Lifetime channel. They have the similar love movies, like the pulp books, you know, with the guy that looks like the long-haired guy that used to be, I forgot his name.
I remember that guy too.
Yeah, he used to be on the cover of like every one of those books. And so Lifetime and Hallmark, they carry those sorts of movies and stories, and there's a market for that. But Lifetime is way more available than Hallmark, and I'm not sure why. Any ideas why Hallmark is so cloistered?
You know, if you get the premium Spectrum TV package, you can get Hallmark from them too. But of course, it's way more expensive than what I'm paying for NVTV.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm wondering what deal could could your service, the $59 a month service, what deal could they have made that included the package with Hallmark? And nobody else can make that deal.
I don't have the answer to that question. I mean, the service has about 1,000 channels to choose from, and I still have my over-the-air TV antenna on the roof as well that I can switch back and forth between. I don't think I get 44 channels on most of the TVs, but I get 30 plus at least, and it probably has to do more with the fact that the Pioneer Kuru TV, 50-inch TV plasma that I have is ancient, relatively speaking. It's like 15 years old, and the tuner isn't as sensitive as the newer TVs, so it just doesn't resolve the channels when it's scanning.
Ah.
Speaking of
Hey,
channels,
Tom, I mentioned this last time. If you go to a website called suppose.tv, and I put it in the chat, you can go in, you put the your location by zip code, and you can click on all the channels you want, and it'll put together the list of best packages available. So it might be a combination of Fubo and Hulu TV, and they had a cord cutting seminar here at through the Parks and Rec, and you just click on what you like. Now, it still may, again, I didn't check Hallmark because we don't watch it that much, but it's a pretty good resource.
Okay, all right. What was that called, Harry?
Suppose.tv. I think I put it in the chat.
Bruce has something to say too.
It says, suppose you can check what you watch and they'll find. Okay, it's suppose.tv.
Right.
All right.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
okay, so I finished the antenna install.
Oh, sure.
And it says I have a weak signal, but I know I'm getting it because when I switch to the channels, it tells me what's on each channel. So I'm getting the data. I'm just not getting strong enough signal to actually display the program.
Okay. As I mentioned in my presentation, are you pointed properly?
Yes.
Southwest, probably?
Yes.
Okay. So then it's the antenna performance.
Probably. It's an old antenna. It was here when I bought the house in 1991.
Yeah, because 4 years ago I bought an antenna and it's a killer. And I get 44 channels pointing to the southwest.
Yeah, I took notes on that name.
I'll look into a different antenna then.
The other thing
in my mind, there's only one, Bruce, and it's the one that I have listed there. Did you wrote down the model number, Trina?
I wrote it down.
Okay, because they have them on Amazon refurbished for $99, and I paid closer to $200. Okay,
How long is the cable
I'm sorry.
run?
I'm sorry, Ray. What?
How long is the cable run?
I'm guessing 50, 60 feet tops.
Well, this system is only as good as the weakest link in the chain. If it's relatively easy to replace the cable, you might want to consider that as well, because cables have loss, and a higher quality cable has less loss, which would also influence the signal quality.
It's actually really good cable. I bought a 500-foot spool when I bought the house. It's good cable with good connectors on it. I built it myself.
Okay, good.
Sure. So it's probably, if it isn't a low performance antenna, then it could be your adapter from the old antenna wire, the flat antenna wire, converting to the cable. I think you said it was 59, RG59?
Yeah.
That could be your weak link, that conversion. And there's really no way around that. I'm sure you bought a halfway decent adapter.
You know, adapters are hard to find.
Yeah, of course. Because
it's not amplified.
Right. And plus, those type of antennas with that older wire are hard to find. So if you can invest in this 4428 HD, the connector is already coax, and you're just going to thread your cable up into it, and you get rid of all of that other loss. My cable is probably 50 feet or more, and I'm still getting 44. When I tested it out in the driveway and just ran the cable raw right from the middle of the driveway into my TV, I got like 50 channels, 51 or 52 when it was unencumbered. Now that it's inside, it cut down a few of the channels, but they were peripheral channels anyway, and I'm doing real well with it as it is.
Well, I have an old signal amplifier. Would I be wise to try that, or is the frequency not right?
Well, when you say a signal amplifier,
that you'd put on your antenna to send it to far reaches of the house in the old days.
And it has the older connectors with the two wires.
No, it's coax.
Coax. Well, certainly give it a shot.
All right.
There's an in and an out coax?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, they sell those 10 dB, 20 dB, what look like connectors that are a booster for that sort of thing, too, that are threaded on both ends, and it's like a 10 or 20 dB booster.
All right.
You might try that before you buy anything.
I'll do that. Thanks, guys.
I'm glad you got it hooked up without hurting yourself or anyone else or small animals or.
Wow, everybody has such confidence in my abilities.
Bruce, I've got a wiring guy if you need him.
I'm the wiring guy.
I'm just telling you, I got a guy that does home and office AV stuff.
We've always built we're a recording studio. We've always built all our own cables.
All right.
Yep, me too. I crimp.
I have a question. I have a question for Tom and for Jeff.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to find a solution to record off the air or off of cable, if you will, onto a PC hard drive for time shifting purposes. Do you know of any solutions that would allow me to record onto a PC as opposed to buying a standalone DVR like a TiVo or something like that?
What are you playing? What's the format of what you're playing?
Well, it's coming, off of the streaming that I'm using. So it's coming off the internet.
Okay, and you're watching it on your screen.
I'm watching it on the screen. I could watch it on my PC as well, but the idea is I want to be able to record onto a hard drive.
Okay, here's what you do in that case. This is what I do. I use two things. One is Camtasia, and the other one is Corel Video, and it has a live screen capture. So I can capture either the whole screen or pieces of the screen. Depends if you move your parameters in, and you capture it in full video, 1080 or whatever your video is capable of. And so anything that you get that you can view, you can copy and save it as an MP4 on your hard drive.
Wonderful.
Are you asking how to record it while not watching it?
Say that again.
Are you asking how to record it while you're watching something else, or
that would be an option? Yes.
Yeah, well, no. This is going to be real time recording as you're watching it. You could record it. This is not that sophisticated. I mean,
right.
This is you're capturing and recording, getting something that you're streaming, and you could put it on your hard drive. That's what you would use a live screen capture for movies.
Right.
There are other ways. Somebody else may have already recorded it, and there are other ways to acquire it after somebody else has recorded it.
Right.
So we can talk about that. But
some are clandestine.
I'm not going to talk about that on a recording.
No, we don't want to, and we have an officer of the court with us.
Fair enough, Jeff. I'll contact you later.
Thanks.
Everything is up and up above board.
But I did put a link in the chat that was about recording TV without Windows Media Center, which was designed for that. One of the uses for that.
Yeah.
It used to be you could buy a video card with the cable connector and use it to record TV, but because everything's shifted over to digital cable, those cards are not going to function, at least the old ones. I have several. They don't do anything now.
So before we wrap it up for today, I want to know, we've had 3 people that are still using cable. So that is a known faction, cable. So we don't really need to hear from them. It's no trick to pay and get cable and be happy. It's somewhat more convoluted to use our devices and stream and, we're buffering and all of that. I was going to go into some of the speeds necessary for having a house full of kids and your internet is, you're trying to watch something and the kids are playing internet games with other people down the street and you're buffering all over the place because our speed is not enough. So you need to make sure of what your internet speed is. So you'll do a speed test and all of that. I didn't go over any of that, but we can do that another time. But anyway, those that do not have cable, how do you watch TV? What do you do?
I stream.
Okay, we know. Yeah, and you have what's your service that you like? That 59
NVTV.
NVTV.
Yes.
Okay.
If anybody wants the link, just send me an email. Reply to the email that I just sent everybody, and I'll give you the link.
Yeah, and just to go over that again, it's 1,000 channels for 59. Is it 59.99?
59.97 monthly.
59.97 with no contract.
Right.
Cancel anytime. So it sounds like the bargain of the century, and you get Hallmark.
Pardon me. Yeah, it gets Hallmark too, and Lifetime, and all the local channels. Although I still have an antenna on my roof, and it uses the Amazon Fire Stick primarily, the Fire Stick 4K, as the way to watch it.
Okay, so that app runs on Fire Stick, Amazon.
Correct.
Will that app run on the Apple TV and or Roku, or you don't know?
I haven't tried it, but it may.
Yeah. Well, for $59.97 a month, you could just as easily buy a Fire Stick, and
Exactly.
Especially these days, it's been out for so long. Okay. Anybody else? Do you still have cable, Lee? Or are you streaming?
We have never had cable.
Wow, good for you.
We got rid of it when the kids were little, and also I was addicted to TV at that point. This is 20-some years ago. So we have never had cable, so I'm not the person to be talking to. We have basically a small antenna inside the house that we use. We get 30 channels with that small antenna.
Excellent. Good for you. That shows restraint. Rob, are you still cabling?
No, YouTube TV.
YouTube TV. So it was one of the ones that I mentioned. YouTube TV is $65 a month.
Yeah, when we first started, it was like $49 a month. But
yeah,
they keep adding more channels.
Sure. And then where do you get your internet?
Spectrum.
Spectrum. Me too. Okay, who's left? Anybody else? Way of viewing without cable?
Well, we're transitioning. I'm guessing more than 50% of our viewing now is through the Roku box on either Acorn, Disney Plus, or Netflix. And the nice thing about that is, especially in the studio, I can hook it up to the main studio monitors, and if I'm watching the big blockbuster films, for example, the sound is phenomenal. It's like they were hearing it in the scoring studio when they mixed
it.
So that's
now those services you mentioned, you pay for each of those, right?
Yeah, but Disney Plus, it's 60 some bucks a year
Oh,
was worth it.
sure.
And we split the Netflix and the Acorn. We pay for Netflix and my sister-in-law pays for Acorn, and we split it.
Nice. Well, you found a way.
So I'm working on ways to get rid of all the boxes that I can get rid of. And
Sure.
by the end of the year, we'll have it kind of worked out.
Very good. Okay. And now we'll all look forward to getting Ray's email, and you can look through that and find other channels that you probably would have liked to have watched, but you didn't know existed. So here, it's a teaser. And for now, we're going to get going. So thanks a lot, all you guys, for joining us. You could stick around after we stop, but I'm going to stop recording now. So we're going to say, have a good day, and we'll see you next week, next Tuesday morning for the Network Breakfast. Thanks so much, each and every one of you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.